Amaya Carter adjusted the strap of her apron nervously as she hustled through the grand ballroom of the Blackwood Foundation Gala. The crystal chandeliers sparkled above her, reflecting off polished marble floors, but she barely noticed the glittering extravagance around her. At 21, she'd never been anywhere near this level of wealth, and yet here she was, volunteering for a cause she truly believed in, helping underprivileged youth gain access to quality education. Her hands trembled slightly as she balanced a tray of champagne flutes, carefully maneuvering past elegantly dressed guests. That's when it happened. A careless elbow bumped her tray, sending a splash of bubbly toward a man in a sharply tailored tuxedo.
"Oh no.
I am so sorry," she exclaimed, reaching for a napkin. The man's intense hazel eyes softened, and instead of anger, a small, amused smile tugged at his lips. "It's quite all right. Accidents happen," he said, his deep voice smooth and calm. He bent down slightly, helping her wipe the spill. Amaya's heart skipped. There was something about him, an unexpected warmth beneath his polished exterior. She recognized him instantly from the magazines, Ethan Blackwood, the billionaire rumored to be cold, calculating, and famously infertile. Yet here he was, laughing lightly at her clumsiness, and somehow, it made him seem human. "Thank you," she whispered, her cheeks flushed. "I promise I'm usually more graceful." Ethan chuckled, a rare sound that seemed to linger in the air. "I'm glad to meet someone so genuine," he replied, his gaze lingering on her a moment longer than necessary. In that brief encounter, a spark ignited, one that neither of them yet understood, but both would soon feel impossible to ignore. A week after the gala, Amaya couldn't stop thinking about the man with the hazel eyes. She tried to focus on her classes and part-time jobs, but the memory of Ethan's rare smile kept surfacing, leaving her heart both nervous and fluttering. Little did she know, Ethan was thinking about her too. Her honesty, her laugh, the way she treated everyone with kindness, it was unlike anyone he had met in his glittering, superficial world. Their paths crossed again unexpectedly at the charity's community program. Amaya was busy organizing a donation drive when Ethan appeared, casually dressed but commanding the same air of quiet authority. "I thought I'd see how my donation is being used," he said, flashing a small grin. Amaya blinked, slightly embarrassed but intrigued. I'm glad you're here," she replied. "It helps the kids a lot." He watched her as she worked, noticing how her eyes lit up while explaining plans to volunteers. "You're incredible," he said softly, almost to himself. Amaya's cheeks warmed at the compliment. Later, as they sorted boxes of supplies together, the conversation drifted beyond charity work. Amaya spoke about her dreams, her desire to build a business that could help young women like her rise above financial struggles. Ethan, in turn, shared pieces of his life rarely revealed, the loneliness of being a billionaire, the pressure to leave a legacy, and his rumored infertility that had shaped years of isolation. For a moment, the world seemed to shrink around them. Their hands brushed, sending shivers up Amaya's spine. A quiet, charged tension hung between them, fragile yet undeniable. She wanted to lean closer, but her doubts whispered warnings. Ethan felt it too, the pull of something genuine, something neither money nor rumors could taint. By the end of the day, both knew their lives had changed in subtle, irrevocable ways. The connection they felt was real, and neither could ignore it. Life had settled into an unexpected rhythm for Amaya and Ethan. Their encounters had become more frequent, quiet dinners, late-night conversations, shared laughter, but neither had officially defined their relationship. Amaya cherished these moments, yet a small voice inside her cautioned her to stay guarded. Then came the day that changed everything. A routine visit to the doctor revealed the impossible: Amaya was pregnant. Shock and disbelief froze her in place. She sat on the examination chair, clutching the positive test, heart pounding. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. Fear rushed in, a fear of Ethan's reaction, of judgment, of whispers that would inevitably spread in his high society circles. How could she tell him? Would he believe it, given the rumors about his infertility? Would he push her away to avoid scandal? When she finally confessed, Ethan's initial reaction was a stunned silence. His eyes widened, mouth slightly open, as if the world had shifted under his feet. He immediately demanded medical confirmation, and the tests, impeccable and undeniable, confirmed it. Ethan, the man who had been told he could never have children, was about to become a father. News leaked to the media almost immediately, and the world erupted with speculation. Headlines screamed about the miracle pregnancy and questioned Amaya's intentions. Society's elite whispered, friends and family probed, and even strangers had opinions. Yet, amid the chaos, Ethan's gaze never wavered from Amaya. Though disbelief and pressure clouded his mind, there was also something new, a protective, fierce affection. In the eye of the storm, they found themselves clinging to each other, realizing that the connection they had formed was now irrevocably complicated, but also unbreakably real. The world outside seemed relentless. Paparazzi photos, whispered gossip, and judgmental glances followed Ethan and Amaya everywhere. Friends and acquaintances questioned their relationship, while business rivals attempted to exploit the scandal. Yet, inside the quiet moments they shared, a different reality existed, a reality where fear gave way to trust, and uncertainty transformed into connection. Ethan, who had always kept people at arm's length, discovered a side of himself he hadn't known, protective, vulnerable, and deeply devoted. He attended every doctor's appointment, held Amaya through nights of anxiety, and made sure she felt safe despite the storms surrounding them. "You're incredible," he whispered one evening, brushing a stray curl from her face. "And I'm not going anywhere." Amaya, in turn, found strength in Ethan's unwavering support. Her initial fears, the judgment, the gossip, the unknown, began to fade. For the first time, she allowed herself to believe in their bond, in the love that had grown quietly but fiercely between them. Together, they decided to face the world openly. Ethan held a press conference, announcing the pregnancy and publicly affirming his respect and love for Amaya. The reaction was electric: shock, admiration, and even grudging respect, but it didn't matter. They had chosen each other, and that choice was stronger than any societal expectation. In that moment, both realized the miracle wasn't just the pregnancy, it was their growing connection, their ability to rise above doubt, and their courage to embrace love without apology. Months passed, and the world gradually adjusted to the news of Ethan and Amaya's impending parenthood. The gossip subsided, replaced by admiration for the unlikely couple who had faced judgment and scandal with courage and grace. Yet, for Ethan and Amaya, public perception mattered little compared to the life growing inside her and the bond they had forged. The day Amaya gave birth was filled with awe and emotion. Ethan stood at her side, holding her hand, his usual composed demeanor replaced by raw, heartfelt wonder. When their baby, a healthy, beautiful girl, was placed in Amaya's arms, Ethan's eyes shimmered with tears. He whispered promises of love, protection, and devotion, words that felt both natural and extraordinary to someone who had once believed he could never be a father. In the weeks that followed, their lives shifted in subtle but profound ways. Amaya embraced motherhood with confidence, balancing her ambitions with the joy of nurturing their child. Ethan, once isolated in his wealth and power, discovered a new purpose and a deeper capacity for love. Their relationship, strengthened by trials and miracle alike, blossomed into something enduring, rooted in trust, respect, and shared dreams. As they watched their daughter sleep one quiet evening, Ethan brushed a strand of hair from Amaya's face. "We did it," he murmured, his voice full of wonder. Amaya smiled, resting her head against his shoulder. "Yes," she whispered. "And this is just the beginning." Theirs was a love story born of surprise, scandal, and courage, a love that promised a future full of hope, laughter, and unbreakable family bonds.